Get away from her, you bitch!
Oh, shut up, you tart!
Who disrupts my coronation?
Get to the chopper!
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome once again. It is that time. It's On Your Geek is Showing, the only podcast in the world that has us two.
Yeah.
Can't run out of steam there.
At least at present point, anyway. Yeah. Just putting that out there a little bit.
Indeed. So here we are once again. It is Retro-Vember, people.
Yes, part 4. Ooh,
hold on.
The finale.
Hold on. Hold your horses. You can't talk yet until I introduce you. I'm the random man with a plan. With me ever. As ever, even. She's weird. She's feared. She's been admiring JK's beard. It's Callie Valentine, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I am, as always, that bitch Calista Valentine. So, yeah. How have you been, Guy?
I've been good. It's been a busy old bloody week, I can tell you. Yeah. But I'm not moaning. No. Had a lovely gig last night. Marvellous.
Ooh, good.
Yes, I was supposed to have one on Friday, but it got cancelled due to illness.
Yes, that is unavoidable at this time of year, unfortunately. I mean, I'm still suffering with that sore throat I've been suffering with for like for pretty much every part of Retro-Vember. It started when we started, and I've still got it now. So, hey, who knows? By next week, it'll be gone.
Hopefully.
I fucking hope so, too.
Beat suffering, doesn't it? So I guess we better push on with the old show there, because it's time for the Shoutout.
Yes, and we only have the one this week. People slacking at the end of the month. Disappointed. Although I did hear from my wonderful friend Raven Rose, rather weird, that Jimmy was listening to us while in the shower.
Well, that could have been worse. He could have been on the shitter.
Do you know what? That's probably where it started.
Probably. Shit, shower and shave.
Hey, why not? But anyway, moving swiftly on with the only comment from this week. The man, the myth, the beard, the
Which you admire.
One, the Ginger Ninja JK. And he goes on to say, Alyssa Milano, Embrace of the Vampire. Enough said. Seen it. Agreed. Love it.
She's a fine actor.
Yes. Both of them are.
Yeah.
She's got lovely large eyes.
Yes.
Of course, we had Banana Man. We also had Danger Mouse. A lot of UK shows made it to our shores, just like convicts of yore.
Ooh.
Hey, own that shit. You're an entire country of convicts.
Australia.
Own it.
You're welcome.
Own it.
You're welcome.
Exactly. Deadpool.
Cough it up.
Deadpool and Wolverine, fucking awesome. That's all I can say. And
yes,
there is a scene where Gambit sees the Marvel portal. So maybe Blade and Gambit, ? Here's hoping. I had mixed feelings. I didn't want to go too much into this the last time we talked about Wolverine and Deadpool, because it's still quite new. It's less than 6 months old at this point, and it's still fairly new. But I'm kind of probably going to get hate for this. Kind of glad we didn't get that Channing Tatum Gambit movie. And I talked to Jimmy Lee about this after watching it. I was like, the look, tick. The way he fights, tick. The way he uses his powers, tick. The way he talks, no. half of it was just it was word salad, and I'm sorry, but that's not like I said to Jimmy Lee. When I think of Gambit, okay, unfortunately, maybe for me, I think of the way he sounds in the animated series. Like you can tell he's Cajun, you can tell he's got an accent, but you can at least understand what he's saying. And I could bear like I wanted to rewind it and put the subtitles on just to see what was actually being said.
Yeah.
Like it was bad. I didn't like the way he did the voice, but everything else, I'm like, for the short time he was in the film with that voice, it was okay. But could I have sat through 2 hours of that? No. As good as it would have looked like visually, I would have had to have watched it on mute. Just saying.
Yeah, felt.
Bradley Cooper is who you were thinking of, Guy.
That was him. That was bloody him. Thank you, JK.
Oh, and here we go. JK went with retro video games.
Ah, lovely. Right.
Episode because
board games.
We did throw in a caveat right at the end because we forgot to mention it that it was retro games, as in video and board. I did during the edit flash up at the bottom of the screen and board games. So but anyway, went with video games, retro video games, Wasteland. Yes, but I know it from the more modern remasters that they've done of it recently. It's a bit like Fallout, but from like a top-down perspective.
No, right, cool.
The old Commodore 64 game. Yes, it was.
Yes.
Blood Omen, A Legacy of Kain on the PS1. Well, let's be honest, most PS1 games, yes. Get to that in a little bit, but blood tangent here. I was watching a video on YouTube the other day about new releases that are coming to the PlayStation Network, depending on which tier you subscribe to. If you have the premium, which is like I think £20 a month, it's the more higher end, but you do get a whole back catalogue of like PS1 to PSP, PSP. Like you get a whole back catalogue of games you can just download whenever the hell you want, right? So it's good for the price. But Blood Omen Legacy of Kain has just been added to that, along with Blood Omen Blood Omen 2, because recently at a games event, a remaster of Soul Reaver 1 and 2 was announced.
Cool,
so it seems like they're sort of adding these to their premium service to entice people like, oh, well, if you buy the remaster, you've essentially got the whole story within those games. So I get the idea, but if you own a PS4 and you have the premium, there you go and get it. You can play it again. Moving on quickly, it came from the desert, either C64 or Amiga 500. I've not heard of that one.
Nor me.
Eye of the Beholder 1 and 2, Amiga 500. And Manic Mansion. Honorable mention to Leisure Suit Larry. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember those ones. Do you know what, right? There are still releases of that game even up to now. I think the most recent one was actually on the PlayStation 4.
Wow.
So it's a game franchise that is still kind of underground and still kind of going.
Cool.
The last one I played was on the Xbox. Okay. The OG Xbox. And you could tell it was the sort of game that my friend didn't want his parents to know that he had because he hid it under his bed. It wasn't until I played it I was like, now I know why this one wasn't on the shelf. But anyway, Resident Evil 1 and 2, yes, the originals and the remakes. The remakes are, in my opinion, like with films, they don't try to beat the original, but they're as good as.
Yeah.
There's new stuff to throw off old players as well. Like you think, oh yeah, I remember this bit in the oh shit, that's different. Catches you out sometimes. So, and they're still going strong with that, with Resident Evil 4 remake having recently come out. And number 5 apparently is going to be out next year. So keep that remake train a rocking. Why not? If they can do it with films, they can do it with games. Sorry, but they can.
True, yeah.
I mean, I'm of that mindset. Gaming's been around long enough now that if you can start remaking beloved games like that, like they do with films, and make them better, why not?
Yeah.
Why not remake games? Siphon Filter and Final Fantasy VII. I was more of a Final Fantasy VIII player. I will admit, although I played 7, I never finished it. Number 8, because the graphics at the time were more realistic, I gravitated more towards that one, and I loved the shit out of that one and played it through like 3 times. Great vid. Looking forward to next week. And that's it with the shout.
Lovely. Right. Moving swiftly on from there, we must ask that question once again that's plagued us throughout time itself. What have you been watching, mate?
Oh, well, this week's been a bit of a sick week, actually.
Ooh.
I went from episode 2 of Cobra Kai to episode 8 of Cobra Kai, about to start episode 9. So I've got 2 more left to go. But I had a bit of a busy week. So when it got to it, I saw that it got to that moment with the person in the hot tub. I won't say who, but the person in the hot tub. When it got to that bit and I saw I had 2 episodes left, I was like, I want to watch those back to back. I don't want to get halfway through one and have to go out. So I took a break from it. I am going to go back to it, but I have been watching Two Broke Girls, Arrow, yet another run through of The Big Bang Theory. But that's my fall asleep program at this point. Like, it helps me go to sleep. So that's on in the background as I'm dozing off. I watched a very old film. I say very old, it's like from late 80s. From Full Moon Studios, who gave us such B movie legends as The Puppet Master films. I watched Subspecies, which is all about vampires in I think is it Budapest, I think, or Bucharest. But yeah, the vampires are over the top, like big long. It's weird from the start of it. There's a bit where this vampire breaks his fingers off. Like, because he's got these long bony fingers, he breaks the end of each finger off. They drop on the floor. They turn into these weird little blobby sack things. They grow. The sacks burst open, and then these weird yellow-eyed, red-skinned, horned demons that are about this big come out of them and start doing his bidding. And I'm just there like, have I missed a scene? Have I passed out and woke up? Like, have I missed something? Like, I feel there should be but it's something that I watched years ago, and I'm kind of re-familiarizing myself with it.
Yeah.
I'm preparing myself for my continuation of the I Spit on Your Grave remake trilogy. I'm going to jump into the second one.
Ooh, fun.
So, yeah, I'm kind of mentally preparing myself for that one, like watching some lesser horror to build myself up for what I know is coming bullshit. So,
yeah.
But other than that, that's about it. Oh, and yesterday afternoon I watched Scrooge with Bill Murray.
Nice. Just why not?
Get me in the Christmas mood. I'll watch it again before Christmas, but I saw it pop up on Prime for free. I was like, while it's free, I've learned with Prime, the minute you see it, you watch it.
Yeah.
Just in case. But what have you been watching then, Guy?
I have been watching Arrow.
The new Supernatural.
It is the new Supernatural, isn't it? Yes. So yeah, more carrying on with Arrow. Now, what season have I got to? Hold on, dear.
Wow.
Whoa, we've stopped the adjudicator. Good God, I had to happen at some point.
Well, my watch through of Arrow, I'm still on season 1, but I think I'm on episode 10 or 11. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have
Jesus
to say.
Christ.
Yeah, but I'm watching that in between everything else I'm watching. It's sort of, when I have time to actually sit and watch TV slot for an hour, Arrow goes on. If I've got 20 minutes, half an hour, Two Broke Girls or Cobra Kai will go on because they're like half an hour each. So, it all depends on how much time I've got free of, like, I can sit down for this length of time and then I've got to go do this bullshit. Yes. Anyway, moving on.
Yes, I'm in series 4. I've just realised. So there you go. Also, I watched Gogglebox on Friday night because I always watch Gogglebox on Friday night.
Oh, can honestly say I've never watched that, but it's one of those shows that I see clips of. And I'm like, that's probably my kind of show.
Yeah, it's great. It's really cool.
From the clips I've seen, it's basically just people sitting around, like talking about TV shows. I was like, I do that when my friends are here. We're watching something and we start chit-chatting about it. So it's right up my street, that.
It is. It's funny as hell. And the reactions to the shows are funny. Things that come out with are funny. It's great. It's well worth it. So there you go. That's a recommendation for all y'all.
Yeah. Recommended by the random man himself.
That's neat. Right. So let's get to the meat of the episode.
The meat and the taters.
Aye. So retro games and board games.
Yes.
Rule of 5 applies.
Yes, I had to think long and hard about this one. Again, was talking to Jimmy Clifford about this one because he asked what was coming up, like maybe
long and hard. Yeah. So,
but yeah, like I said to him, I've got to whittle my picks down, right? And I've got I started gaming when I was 7 years old. I got a Master System 2 for my 7th birthday. So I've been gaming for 33 years at this point.
It's hardcore.
And I've gone through most video game consoles, most kind of not PCs, but I had like things like the Commodore, the Amiga, like that. They were my earliest window into games, but it was all keyboard, and me being dyslexic, that just. But when
there wasn't. I was going to say there wasn't a thing called the joystick.
Yeah, but we were too broke for one of them. We had the keyboard set up.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, so like trying to whittle it down to like the picks that I had to make, I was like, especially like pre-2000 as well, because once you hit like PS2 era, sort of 99, 2000, when the PS2 was coming out, the Dreamcast and things like that, it's like, oh, there's so many great games there. But even pre-2000, it's like, there's so many to choose from. So whittling it down for this list, I was like,
yes, but we also don't want to repeat picks, do we?
Yes. So I tried not to, but I don't think I've mentioned these ones before.
I know I haven't.
And one of them is a wild card.
No.
And I'll explain why. I'll explain why when we get there, and I'm going to leave that one till last.
Is it the Ace of Spades?
No, unfortunately, it's not. It's not Lemmy, R.I.P. Wherever you are. Pour one out for Lemmy. I don't think he'd do that. He'd probably like down one for Lemmy, like, you know. Don't pour it out. It's a waste of booze.
Jack and Coke all the way. Right. So, do you want to go first?
I can go first if you want me to go first.
Yeah, ladies first.
Shall I go with a video game or a board game?
It's up to you.
Dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice.
Okie dokie, then I'm going to go with up first. I'm going to go with a video game. I'm going to go with 1990, ported over from the arcades. I myself played this on the Sega Mega Drive or Genesis, if you want to get, you know, other country about it. Apparently, it was only in the UK. It was known as the Mega Drive. Everywhere else, it was the Genesis.
It's a cool name.
Cool. It is a little bit in the, you know, Sega Genesis. Yeah. It's like, oh. But I am talking about the... You can tell this game wears its influences on its sleeve. It is very Dungeons and Dragons inspired. I am talking about that classic co-op game, Golden Axe.
I thought you might.
Yes, I remember back in the day having this on. I had it both. Well, I played it on the Mega Drive first because I had a Master System, got a Mega Drive, picked up my Master System as like a backup.
Yeah.
And I ended up with a copy for, I think it did come out on each console. I had it on the Master System and the Mega Drive. Mega Drive, vastly fucking superior, by the way. But the amount of hours after school that me and my friends would sink into that game trying to finish it.
Yeah.
You know, one of my friends bringing their spare controller around and hooking it up, and just two of us sat there like, you know, and you got to remember, this is back in the day where on the Mega Drive, you had a 3-button setup.
Yep.
Punch, kick, special. That was it.
Yep.
And fancy combos. It was just mash the buttons till everything was dead. You know, but because it was a co-op game rather than a going against each other game, unlike games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, things like that were out around about the same sort of time. This was like, no, this was you and your friends like, we're going to beat this fucking game.
Yeah, we're working this out.
Yeah, it brought that co-op feeling of the arcade home. So for those of us, a lot of people in the UK didn't live close to big arcades that had these huge machines and stuff. And people in America, maybe not so much over here. So our only way to really experience these games was at home. And like I said, the memories I have connected to this game, some of the funny things that happen, the funny glitches. I remember that I was trying to jump over a gap as one of my friends was trying to respawn from dying.
Yeah.
But their respawn cancelled my jump, and we both ended up falling down the same gap because they respawned and fell straight down the gap with me.
Oh, wow.
It was like, the game fucked us on that one. It really did. Like, nope, you thought you were going to have a fun game? Nope. Good old game glitches back in the day. You couldn't do nothing about that.
Yep. Fuck all.
Your game glitched up back then. You had to hit the reset button and hope for the fucking best. Hope it didn't happen again. But yes, did you ever play Golden Axe Guy?
Yes, I did. I did pump a few 10p's in that, but I'll tell you that.
Who did you play as? Did you play as the barbarian, the dwarf, or the warrior woman?
Oh, the barbarian at the time.
Again, probably should have noticed something about me. I insisted every time. No one is the female character. I play as the female character. That was the rule in my group of friends. I'm always the female character. Doesn't matter what game it is, I'm the female character. Unwritten rule. So, again, should have.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, so that's my first pick. Moving it on to.
Nice. Right then, fire up the time machine once again. It's time to go back. I'm going to go with a very old 80s classic. 1984. We always loved a bit of platform action. Jet Set Willie's your go-to. Oh,
yes.
What a classic.
Very hazy childhood memories of that game. Like, I think that's among some of the others, like Sonic and Mario. That's one of the earliest ones I can remember playing.
Yes.
That and Dig Dug. Dig Dug is ingrained in my brain. That as you move. That's burnt into my brain for some reason. Don't remember where I played it, but that noise just.
Yeah. So yes, Jet Set Willie is a sequel to a game called Manic Miner.
Yes.
So in Jet Set Willie, with the amount of money he earned from Manic Miner, he's bought himself a mansion, had a massive party, but now his housekeeper is making him clean up.
Yes.
And there was 64 different rooms.
Yes. Oh, God.
And you had to go along and jump and swing to collect the shiny little objects to clear them away.
Yeah.
What a game. Hours and hours I played on that game.
Oh, it is definitely one of those games where the more you fail at it, the more determined you become to get past it.
Yes, and unfortunately there was glitches on very early versions.
Yes.
So you couldn't complete it.
I remember seeing one of them is where because you have to jump, like shoot a hook thing and then swing.
Yeah.
Where the physics kind of just glitched out, where you hook and then it just goes, yeah. It just spins round like a loading symbol.
Indeed.
For all of eternity. No matter what you press, he doesn't let go. Or if he does, he shoots another line directly straight back at where you just let go and goes even faster.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. Yes. Like very hazy memories of that game.
Yeah, it's very basic graphics, very, very basic graphics.
It was 84, of course it was.
But a huge amount of gameplay.
Well, I mean, like you said,
64 levels.
64 levels. And that reminds me of another game that I played on, again, the Mega Drive. And this is kind of an honorable mention, I guess. It was called Overboard. And you were this little cartoony, blobby rescue dude on a sinking ship. It was basically like Lemmings on crack. You had, on this cruise ship, 101 rooms to go through. And each room got bigger, but the amount of survivors... No, sorry, each room got smaller, but the amount of survivors you had to get got bigger.
Yeah.
So obviously, the smaller the room, the more hazards. So it was like, how do you get? Yeah, that is PTSD inducing now. Like trying to get through. Like once you hit level 20,
Yeah.
you're fighting your own sanity trying to finish that game, and that's what it reminds me of.
Mm.
So little,
Yeah. I think what I'm going to do is I'll message you links. If you could put them in the show notes, so then the people can actually who are young enough to not know who this Jet Set Willie character is, they can have a look.
Yes, send me the links over, and I will definitely put them in the description bit. Check the description, everyone. It'll be down there somewhere.
Yeah.
So that moves on to my next pick.
It does.
Right. I'm going to switch things up and go with a board game.
Lovely.
One of my personal favorites.
Excuse me. Oh, excuse me.
One of
Sorry,
my personal favorites, especially around this time of year, because I always remember sort of around Christmassy time. I know it's not quite there, but we're getting there. But I remember around Christmassy times, family gatherings where it was like my family and like my friend, like a friend's family or my parents' friends, like all kind of mulling together on like Christmas night.
Yeah.
A big piss up and eating more turkey than you dared to imagine.
Yeah.
But guaranteed this would always be the board game that got pulled out. And I am talking, of course, Trivial Pursuit.
Oh, you bitch.
Did I steal one of yours?
You did.
Oh, got it. But yeah, I do remember this one. And one distinct memory I have of this is from a Christmas. We were playing it. And the question came up, who is Superman's arch enemy? Guess who, for the life of them, could not remember the answer?
Oh. Wow.
It wasn't until I went, no, pass. And they said, as soon as they said Lex, I just went, piss off. I knew it. Because, like, you know, it's one of those moments where you put on the spot and your brain just goes, no. Your brain just shuts off for 5 seconds. And you're like, I know it, but I'm not telling you what it is. Like, it was one of those moments. And, yeah, I remember that distinctly. I think it was like Christmas 95. I wasn't very old, but it was just like one of those slap your forehead, naked gun moments, you know, like, oh, fuck. But yes, Trivial Pursuit. Guy, your thoughts on that game?
I have a visual aid.
Here we go. Oh, Doctor Who, love it. My daughter has the Harry Potter one because she's a Harry Potter fan.
Yeah, we don't have a board currently, so.
Well, yeah, that's more of a travel one, isn't it? That one.
Yeah, so we can't really actually play it properly. You open it up.
To be fair, have you seen the prices of the sets these days?
No. Does have.
They're nice
questions.
sets. They're nice sets, but fucking hell, they're expensive. Yeah. Oh,
I've lost it. Shit. No,
well, now you can never play that game again.
Yeah. So yeah, we could do a board read like that, but no. Back in the day, I used to play Trivial Pursuit when I was living in Bradford with my mates, and we get sozzled while we played it. The problem is, the longer the game goes, the more you drink. The more you drink, the longer the game goes because you can't answer questions, so therefore you have more time to drink.
that was one I remember playing in my college days. Was for every question you got wrong, you took a shot. But for every question you got right, you could nominate someone else to take a shot.
Yeah.
So, and it was. That was one of those college nights that you want to remember, but you can't.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, yeah, there's one of mine gone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But hey, you got to see my visual aid.
Exactly. So then, bouncing it back over to you, your next choice.
Right. Don't know the year for this one. It's a board game, but it was a part of my childhood that I remember fondly. Searching for a piece of cheese. Yes, of course. Well, it's not Trivial Pursuit. It's Mousetrap.
You got me back. You got me back. You took my other choice.
Ah, it's like your
Mousetrap.
Battleship.
Mousetrap was my other choice. Do you know what? I was going to pick Battleship as well.
Yeah.
But I do actually have an official release date on that, and it's 1963.
Nice. Thank you.
Yes, it has obviously had changes and updates over the years, but the original first release is in 1963. So,
Brilliant.
again,
Brilliant
like you,
game.
part of my childhood, that one.
Yeah, just going along, building the trap. To, the original, the point of orgasm where you get to spring the trap. Love it.
And if you were a Tom and Jerry fan, this was like as close as you got to playing a board game version of Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing the adverts when I was a kid. It was like a fuzzy puppet animated cat with like a life-size mousetrap board and, cartoon mice. I was like, that just made me want to play it even more.
This is Tom finally going, fuck you, Jerry.
Caught the little fucker right at the end.
Yeah.
But yes, Mousetrap, an absolute staple for especially kind of our generation. Like if you didn't play Mousetrap, did you even really have a childhood?
No, you didn't. Comments again down there, people.
If you played Mousetrap and you liked it, comments. And if you liked it, if you didn't like it, comments as well.
There's not much I can say about it because it does what it says on the tin. So,
Although there were occasions where you'd set everything up just right and you'd click it and the guy who's meant to do the crank sort of go tick.
Yeah.
And just sort of stop and you're like, oi!
Yeah.
What are you, a fucking East Staffordshire Council worker? Fucking do what you're told.
And I'm not paying you overtime.
Yeah, I'm not paying you for your lunch break. There's mice to catch there, you tosser.
Yeah. And potholes to fill, but that's a different story.
Yes. But yeah, Mousetrap, absolutely fucking brilliant board game.
Yes. Your turn.
My turn, right. Well, I'm going to flip it over back to the video game side of things. And I don't think I've talked about this one. I may have talked about it, but I don't think it was a pick. I think it was an honorable mention.
Right.
More so because a fourth installment came out a couple of years ago. I'm talking about that wonderful side-scrolling beat-em-up, Streets of Rage.
Oh.
Yes, another co-op game. Another co-op game, which if you had the multi-tap, you could get up to 3 players on. If you had the multi-tap on the Mega Drive version. I don't think was it on the Super Nintendo? It wasn't, was it?
No.
So yeah, if you had the multi-tap, you can have 3 player on it. So you have there was only 3 characters. And again, another game where I insisted I had to be the female character, Blaze, dressed in a nice little red leather. It was so late 80s, early 90s, red leather jacket and fucking red PVC skirt with little ankle boots. And I'm sorry, but Axel, the main character, Johnny Lawrence, blonde guy, ripped shirt, headband, blue jeans. It's Johnny Lawrence. I'm sorry. I consider Streets of Rage as sort of like an unofficial Karate Kid sequel. It's like, this is what happened to Johnny after.
Yeah.
The story's different, but it's a video game. You can make up your own fucking story if you want.
Yeah.
The wonderful thing about gaming, there's a story there in text, but if you're dyslexic like me, you just go, nah, this is my story. I'm making it up as I go along.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Great side scrolling beat 'em up action. Brilliant.
And the second one was even better because it upped the graphics, introduced 2 new characters, took 1 away, but it did introduce 2 new characters.
Yeah.
The third one was, I don't know, that one for me was a bit of a mixed bag because as it got towards the end, it had like branching paths where you had to like figure out where you were going. Like it was particular doors that went in elevators that went up or down a floor. And it got too complicated. But the fourth one that came out very recently, a couple of years ago, was a return to form. The graphics were very comic book. If you've never played it, it is like playing a comic book. It looks like a comic book come to life. It's so pretty. And it's not 8-bit art style. It's like hand-drawn, cartoony style. But but it works for that kind of game. So if you've never played it, it's worth checking out Streets of Rage 4. And the back catalogue, the first three, are worth checking out if you've never played them.
Yeah, I had the first one on the Master System.
Yes. Yes.
I was always acting.
Of course.
Of course I was.
And I love how the special on that, where you hit the special button and it just zoom back to the beginning of the level. Random cop car just show up and like, boom, launch a missile in the middle of the street that would rain down fire, not just on the bad guys, but on you as well. You can American developer, friendly fire. Oh, what's that? Boom. You know.
Bit of collateral damage, never hurt anyone.
You know. Not a special attack, it's the collateral damage bomb.
Yeah.
You know. But again, much like with Golden Axe and another, you know, 2-player, 3-player, that me and my friends after school, we would sink hours into it. And even if I remember at one point we got to it so good, I think it was the second one, me and one of my friends, that we were able to finish it in like an hour and a half. And then because we'd finished it, we'd go back to the start and then choose different characters and play through it again just to see what the other characters were like.
Yeah.
Like, even though it was like same story, same everything, it was just like, let's see what they were like. Try playing as them. See if I'm good. See if I'm better or worse playing as a character. And, you know, that was back when a game was a game. It was complete. There was no DLC, nothing like that. You know, and the replayability was in that, having these selectable characters and seeing what each one of them did. Because in the second one, every character had their own special. In the first one, every character had the same special.
Yeah.
You just hit a button and it was a random, it was either a bombardment of like fireballs or a ring of fire that would go around the outside and kill everyone. That was it.
Yeah.
But in the second one, everyone got their own individual specials, but it trained your health. So, anyway, I'm digressing there, but yeah, Streets of Rage, fucking love it.
Again, put a YouTube link on.
Yes, I will. I'll
for our younger viewers.
Yes. Well, I mean, even if you've got a PlayStation or an Xbox, just jump on your search and see how much you need to buy the number 4.
Yeah.
I mean, there are actually Sega Mega Drive collections out there that do include the first 3 as part of the collection.
Yeah.
So, you know, they are still out there. They are still available to play on modern hardware. You just got to find them. So, yeah, that's my pick.
Cool. I will take it back to games as well.
Ooh.
Fast forward to 1991. But it's time to take a more sedate pace. We're talking about being God.
Oh.
Sid Meier's Civilization.
Yes. Again, another series that is still going.
Yes.
I think
number 7. Number 7 will release next year.
There you go. There you go. See? Still coming out now. It must be good.
Yeah. Brilliant bloody game. Basically, you are in charge of a civilization. You have to build that civilization up. You can either win by war, you can win by culture, or you can win by scientific advancement.
Yes. Isn't that famously the one where something to do with Gandhi, where he can turn into the most aggressive player in the game if you look up?
Yeah, there is humorous.
Yeah, because his what is it? His violence level is set to like 0 or something because he's it's Gandhi. Yeah. But if you do a bonus that basically lowers his threat meter, it actually has the reverse effect and ends up like putting it to the maximum.
Yeah.
Because it goes back on itself, and it's like, you've now just turned Gandhi into a warmongering, genocidal psychopath. Well done. Well done.
There is a lot of humor in these games. They started off, back in 91, and it's just great. Build up your nation.
Yeah.
You can be any number of historic rulers, and you bring in a society up from prehistory to the present day, and I find it really just God, the amount of hours I put into those games over the
Oh
years.
yeah, I mean, you mentioned in the name
If I could have that time back,
Sid Meier. The one game
yeah.
like that I did play, I think it was on the PS2 or the original Xbox, was Sid Meier's Pirates,
Mm,
which general kind of same idea, but more smaller scale, where you were a
yeah.
pirate, and the idea was you'd go around and siege things, and you'd build up your pirate galleon, and you'd end up with like an army of ships behind you and
Yeah.
stuff. I played that, and that was really good because it was part sort of RTS game, but
Mm,
part role play game because you could customize your ships and everything. Like each
yeah.
individual ship, you could customize how you wanted. So there was a little bit of role play to it, but it was more RTS, like sailing the seas,
Mm,
encountering a group, and like fighting and stuff. It was
yeah.
a wonderful little game. And again, Civilization is much the same. Like you get lost in it. You really do. It's one of those games you get lost.
Mm. I've got to look after my city. I've got to do this irrigation. Now I've got to do this. I've got to build this road. I've got to do.
I
And
remember one of my friends back in the day playing it on his PC, and it
mm,
was a PC, and he would
yeah, I
actually
started with it on PC.
he would just sometimes leave his PC running overnight because it's like construction time left on a building was like 8 hours. So he's like, oh fuck it, I'm off to bed.
Yeah,
He just let it run overnight, but then come back in the morning and then like the whole town's just falling apart.
yeah. That's the problem. You got to keep an eye. You got to look after your people.
You got to be a dedicated god when you're playing that game.
Mm.
No wonder our god abandoned us.
I know.
He saw what we did with Civilization and went, you know what? Fuck you lot. I'm at the
But,
room.
no, it's one of those. It's not exactly shooty bang bang. It's not beating everything up. It's just cool. Just sucks you in. I mean, I used to play this game for hours before I rose. Jesus Christ, I would spend hours on
Yeah, I used to what I used to sort of really like doing was just build up to a certain point and then just watch things happen, watch the little
it.
civilians going about their lives, watching
Yeah.
the technology slowly advance on its own and things like that. And just it's like almost like an interactive screensaver to a certain extent, because you could just sit there and chill and watch the world evolving and occasionally like click here, click there, do this, do that. Make sure everyone's
Ooh. Yeah, you found another colony. Oh, okay.
yeah, like oh.
Send in a spy.
Yeah. Along those same lines, Age of Empires was
Yeah,
similar to that.
yeah. I love games like that. Sometimes it does you good.
RTS sort of town building games like that. There is a certain niche for that where it's not hardcore, it's not full on action, it's not roaring heavy metal all the time unless you want it to be in the background, you can. But like it's just like you said, it's one of those games where you can just sit back, get comfy, and just click, click,
Yeah.
monitor things, chill, relax to.
Yeah.
I suppose modern games like Minecraft have kind of taken the place of that, but not completely.
No, they haven't though, because Civilization still goes.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like they're the more popular ones. Minecraft, like where you can just build and chill and relax if you want to.
I've never
played that game.
I've never played it. I probably never will.
I actually turned around to someone the other day and said, Minecraft is just Lego for germaphobes. They can build blocks without touching blocks.
Yeah, fair. Right, okay.
So that's my next pick then. Mine?
Yeah.
Well, seeing as you took Mousetrap, we're on to my last pick.
Okay.
And this one is my wild card.
Ooh, the
because technically it's both. It's a video game and a board game. I'm talking Monopoly for the PlayStation 1. I have sting you there.
Half.
But yeah, I thought this would be a bit of a wild card because it was one of the when I got my PlayStation for Christmas '97. This is one of the games that came bundled with it, and looking back on it, it's like I do kind of have fond memories of it because playing it like when you rolled the dice by pressing a button, obviously. It did like a little animation for the dice rolling, and then it would do a little animation for the piece moving. When you did like the bidding for properties and stuff like that, it would have like a bidding hammer that you'd have to like
Yeah.
buttons. It made it a bit more interactive, but because it's a video game based on a board game, I was like, this is my wild card because technically it's both. It's a video game of a board game. And games can last just as long as they do on a regular game of Monopoly, but you have the bonus because it's a video game, being able to save your progress to your memory card and come back to it later.
Yeah.
So that was the added bonus. If you want to pause a game of Monopoly in real life, you have to leave everything on the board exactly where it is and slowly back away from it and make sure nobody nudges the board. So at least on the PlayStation, you could hit pause, save up, switch off, come back later. But yeah, for me, as an early PlayStation 1 game, like kind of my introduction to PlayStation, this was kind of a nice, soft little like, so this is kind of what this machine is capable of. Like with the graphics and everything, and like the level of, I wouldn't say detail, but like the amount of like sort of management that's going on behind the scenes, like with the dice roll, your piece move, the animations that it has to throw up, all that kind of stuff. Like it was pretty good for its time. For 1997, I've got it listed here.
There you go.
So for 97, it's not bad. But I'm guessing that kind of leads us on to your last choice.
Yes, it's a game called Monopoly.
I thought we'd string that together nicely.
Fuck.
I kind
on the ball
with that one.
I
was talking about the video game. But actually, no, it'd be too much effort to go and get it. I was going to say, seeing as you've chosen Monopoly, I could have run and grabbed my Ghostbusters Monopoly.
Nice.
I could have, but I keep thinking that. So maybe I'll do like a little video of it and flash it up while we're talking about Monopoly. So you don't have to look at us while we talk about Monopoly.
There you go.
Go on then, guy. Give us.
So 1925 originally.
Yes, one of the oldest board games that's around.
Yeah. Actually, I've always enjoyed Monopoly.
Yes, there are.
Since I was a kid, there are those of us out there who enjoy it. So.
Yeah, again, one of those games that would always come out sort of around family times, like not so much birthdays, but like Easter, Christmas, New Year, kind of thing. Like if we were doing a family board game, it was usually Monopoly, and I was usually the little doggy because I like the little doggy.
Yes, I like being the car, but I've got a new version now, and it comes with a ship. So I'm the ship. I like being the ship.
With the version I've got, because I've got Ghostbusters Monopoly, I am usually the Proton Pack.
Nice.
So, but yeah, Monopoly, like you said, it's been around since 1935.
Yeah, it's just one of those games. Yeah, like you say, sit around with the family is nice. I have my daughter decided she wanted to play it a year ago, so we got her a set, and we quite often play. But we'll quite often play a Saturday morning while watching Tony Time. So there you go.
Oh, there you go, Tony. There's a little beautiful moment for you.
I'll be sat in this very chair I'm in now,
Tony
watching
on
my
the
TV.
background.
And Tony's in the background. Me and Rose are playing Monopoly.
Oh,
She's getting mardy when I kick her ass. Although, to be fair,
my daughter's the same. My daughter's the same. Once I start winning, she gets very huffy.
Although the last time we played, the dice were very unkind to her. She ended up going to jail several times. But that's the dice roll, folks.
Yeah.
Sometimes it grows with you, sometimes it don't.
But with it being around since 1935, it's one of those games that's kind of evolved with the times to a certain extent. Like, general premise has stayed the same, but like the boards have been updated. There's been international versions done of it because originally it was just based around London.
Yep.
But there's been international versions of it. There's been at this point, there's every version of Monopoly.
Every franchise.
Like I said, I've got the Ghostbusters version. There's a Beetlejuice version, A Nightmare Before Christmas, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars,
I
Star.
do want the Star Wars.
You name it, right? If there's a franchise, right? It's we make this joke when we said the other week, like, you've made it when you're a franchise when you've got your own version of Monopoly. When you've
Yeah.
got a Monopoly version of your franchise out, you've made it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Like my daughter, last Christmas, actually, I got her Stranger Things Monopoly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we've not played a game of that yet, though, because it's obviously at hers and she doesn't bring it with her.
Yeah.
But I may say to her, hey, this Christmas, do you want to bring
Mm.
Stranger Things Monopoly? Okay, a couple of people around. We'll have a game.
Mm.
We'll go out to the coast, have a few laughs.
Yes. I do want Star Wars Monopoly. We got Rose. I'm loath to admit this, but I will. Swiftopoly.
What?
Swiftopoly.
Swiftopoly.
Swiftopoly. Taylor Swift.
Oh. If we're talking about those kind of versions of it, my friend Jen has Catopoly. It's cat themed Monopoly, but tangent here, people. The one thing I do like about that is the people who made it. Obviously, I don't think it's an official Monopoly.
No, Swiftopoly isn't.
But I think the people who made this, I think it was like 90% of the money that they made for it, or like a good chunk of the money they made from it, went to cat protection charities.
No, that's fair dues.
So it's like you bought the game and you were supporting cat protection charities. And I'm like, see that I could kind of, like when it was explained to me, it was like, oh, see now that's a good idea. Like, yeah, you're getting a fun little game where it's just like Monopoly. You buy different breeds of cats and you stop in points and your utilities are like cat toys and stuff like that. It's a fun little take on it, and you're supporting a charity. That's fine. That's cool. But yeah, Swiftopoly, that I like. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, but this isn't going to charity, is it? This is an unofficial thing that's going some fucking
It's going to someone's pocket. Well, they say charity starts at home, and it's starting at that person's home, apparently.
Yeah, but I don't like it. The board isn't made of board, it's fabric.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, but no. So there you go. Yes, I'm not there. I'm not.
Minute.
Minute.
Monopoly.
Yes, I'm in the. Oh, fuck.
And the Monopoly.
Monopoly.
Hey guys over here, and they're playing the Monopoly.
I'm a Monopoly geek. There you go. I said it.
There we go. You got there in the end.
Can't fucking speak. I'm tired. I'm very tired.
Sure, it's not the wine in that glass.
No, it's it's yesterday's antics of a child's birthday party at Meadowside.
Yes, I saw the pictures on Facebook.
Yes, and then coming home after sorting all that out, and then going to do Geek.
I do not envy you this week, sir. I do not.
And then getting up with us this morning at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I was up at 7:30 this morning for no apparent reason.
I'm very tired, folks.
I'm running on caffeine right now. It's about it. That's all that's keeping me up.
I'm running on Malbec.
But right, I think then that brings us up to the honourable mentions, if you have any.
Yes, I do. Right, Starquake. No?
Board game, video game.
Video game.
Starquake.
Yeah.
It's
1985.
not splashing any memories in my brain, sorry.
Okay, another platformer. Set on a disintegrating planet, you've got to replace core elements in the core of the planet, otherwise it's going to go kaboom.
I think I remember it, but I don't think I've played it. It's one of those ones that I saw in passing on like Games Master.
Yeah.
I've heard of it, but I've not played it.
Played it for hours. I will again send you
Some linky links.
Some linky links, and yeah. And then you can have a look and go, oh yeah. But no, that was a great game. My other one on
You really cannot talk tonight, can you?
I can't get this to go tonight, folks. I'm very sorry. My honourable mention is, of course, Cluedo. Because why not have a bit of murder mystery?
That was nearly my pick instead of Mousetrap. I very nearly picked that one instead of Mousetrap, but I was like, no, Mousetrap's kind of the more universal one. Now, a lot of people will love that game. Like Cluedo, you've got to be, unless you add alcohol to it and start just accusing everyone.
Yeah.
It was you with the shoe.
It was John Pertwee and Tony's mum with the broken condom on the pick and mix counter. Fucking hell. That's a bit harsh.
Tickled his Professor Plums.
As long as he left his Reverend Green, alone.
That's what they were smoking, innit?
Probably. It was the 70s.
Exactly. But
anywho,
is that it for your honorable mentions?
Yes.
Well, for me, honorable mention on board games, I don't really have any because we've kind of covered all the ones that I really played back then. But I do have honorable mentions for video games, and one that I'm going to mention, it came out on the Super Nintendo, and that was Metal Gear Solid Snake.
Nice.
Which was a precursor to Metal Gear Solid, which I fell in love with on the PlayStation 1. It was my first time playing a game like that. But this is kind of one of those weird sort of 6 degrees of separation kind of with what my brain does sometimes, where I remember going around to a friend's house and playing on his Nintendo and playing a stealth game where you snuck around, and the idea was you didn't directly confront people unless you had to. Jump forward several years, I'm playing Metal Gear Solid, and all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute, this all seems rather familiar, these character names, and this is... And then, again, a few more years forward, managed to get on the internet and the growing world of Wikipedia and realized that oh shit, yeah, it's a sequel to the game that I played just on a random. Like, I didn't even know the name of the game because his Nintendo was like tucked under his TV. He was like, oh yeah, play this. Like, chuck me his pad, and I'm like, oh, okay, what's the objective? Don't get spotted, just hide. Oh, okay. Like, didn't even know what it was, but then years later I found out what it was, and yeah, introduced me to the legendary Solid Snake.
Brilliant games.
Yeah, from the PlayStation 1 era up to kind of a couple of more modern games, but we won't talk about that. By the wonderful David Hayter, who was also the screenwriter, one of the screenwriters for the first X-Men film.
Yeah, was.
So, there you go. There's a few more 6 degrees of separation. The guy that voiced the character in a video game also stars in a film, Guyver Dark Hero, and is the screenplay writer for another superhero movie, X-Men.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah. Wonderful world.
Love it. Love it.
But yeah,
love it. I think Guns of the Patriots is my favourite.
The fourth one. Yeah. For me, to this day, it's the first one.
Yeah. Fair one.
Number 4 was good, but the thing that kind of bugged me about the fourth one, we'll talk more about this in another episode, but the thing that really bugged me about number 4 was you got about 10-15 minutes worth of gameplay, and then about 20 minutes worth of a cutscene, then about half an hour to 45 minutes worth of gameplay, and then an hour's worth of cutscene. Like, I think the final cutscene in the game does register out at like an hour and a half long. Like, once you finish the game, that ending is an hour and a half long. Jesus, that was my only complaint. That was my only complaint about it. Was Kojima being Kojima? They let Kojima hard on that game.
Yeah,
like the third one for me is the perfect balance between cutscene storytelling, because that's obviously clearly what he liked doing, and gameplay. You got enough gameplay with a few cutscenes to break up the gameplay, and then a bit more gameplay.
Yeah.
That fourth one, it leaned more the other way. And number 5, it's not David Hayter, it's Keith Sutherland voicing him. They obviously paid him by the word,
Yeah.
because he has not many lines in it at all.
Yeah.
But the gameplay is there for me with the Phantom Pain, the newer one.
Yeah.
The gameplay is there that you can, because it's now open world, you can approach it at whatever angle you want. You can go in guns blazing. You can stealth it up. You can still hide in a cardboard box if you really want to.
Yeah.
And they've kind of upped a few elements of it, but the gameplay's still there for me, like it was in the other ones.
Yeah.
And again, it limits the cutscenes, so it's had its ups and downs. But if you want to go back, because I think there is a collection now where you can play all of the Metal Gears up to number 3. So Metal Gear Legacy Collection, I think it's called, or Legendary Collection or something. It's recently come out. But yeah, it is out there. Go play it. Go check it out.
Cool.
So, yeah,
Right then,
I
folks.
think that's us. That's it.
I think that's us. Time to mosey on down the trail.
Yeah.
The
The Retro-Vember train has reached its final destination.
tickets, please.
Yes. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
That is very true. That's very true. I'm going to go home because I'm at home.
Yes. But we will be back next week with another episode.
We will. Retro-Vember obviously comes to a close, but normal service will be resumed.
Yes, we're resuming normal service for 2 more weeks, and then we're taking our Christmas break.
Yes, we are.
But we will have a Christmas episode on and a New Year episode on as well.
Yes, we will, of course.
Our roundup of the year, because they're not part of the season. They're their own separate little thing, the Christmas and New Year thing that we do. They're their own thing. We don't include those in the series run. Even though they fall in between, we don't count them.
No, they're special.
But yeah, so that's it for this weekend.
Okay. Well, I will lead us off. We will be on the way. She's been Callie. I've been a fat bloke. And we'll see you next time.
See you next week, everyone. Bye.
Bye.